Hey, welcome, all my right thinkers. Thanks for tuning in to check out your boy, P-Farm, thinking right out here in the lab. Well, I do what I do for you. I got a nice lesson to wrap up for you today, so get ready. It's gonna be a minute this time, and I'll wrap it up for you. Good information. So let's do what we do. Rightisms, 25 rules to live by. Storytelling, story with a message. There's a message in the story for life. I give life lessons. You tune and receive them. I appreciate you. We got a good thing going. Let's rock. Right thinking mission, and that's what I'm on, is to enlighten, inspire, educate, and motivate you, the individual, to a higher spiritual level of enlightenment. Right thinking way of life through mental and spiritual discipline practice daily will help and guide you to obtain your goal of spiritual enlightenment, aka know thyself. My mission is that all right thinkers know thyself. If you're a right thinker, your goal is to know thyselk. See where we're going with that? So let's get there together. I do my job, you do yours, and you will know thyself. A person who, if I ask the question, excuse me, do you know you? It's rhetorical, but if you don't have the answer for yourself, tune in. I can help you with that. That's what I do for you. So a person who knows not and knows not that they know not is foolish. Disregard them. A person who knows not and knows that they know not is simple. That you can teach them. That's why I do what I do for you. Appreciate you too. Stay tuned. I got more for you. A person who knows not and believe and think that they know is dangerous. Avoid them. I do. A person who knows and knows not that they know is spiritually asleep. I can awaken them. I'm the spiritual alarm clock here to wake you up with knowledge of self. That's what I do for you. A person who knows and knows that they know is wise. Follow them. All these persons reside in you, right? Thinkers know thyself and always to my eye be true. I'm about to wrap up this lesson with what is the goal of meditation and the tidbit. How to remain fully conscious at all times. I'm breaking it down for you. Remember, it's all about being conscious, not automatic consciousness. So let's get the lesson started. Well, I ended off at the last one. The state of automatic consciousness, aka ignorance, is correct. Well, man, characterized by what? Not good mental distractions. Why? Your mind becomes restless and extroverted. That means you're worried about outside things. External is always out. Internal is in. Just to make sure you know that. So the automatic state of mind is a mind that exists due to emotions, never good, such as, aka, the emotions led by what? The ego. But you have emotions such as, you ready? Sexual desires, anger, hatred, which engender more desires in the mind, which in turn, what? Causes more movement away and considered distractions and delusions and lapse or gaps in human consciousness. Sometimes we ask, lost your mind, fell and bumped your head. Some of the stuff that people do, and I wasn't thinking. Okay, that's one scenario. What did that explain? That's that scenario right there. But to gain control of the mind will always, unless you gain control of your mind, watch this, your mind will always be distracted, agitated, and will never discover peace and contentment. It's a definite that unless you have control over you, you're never going to reach that destination. You hear what I'm saying? If you don't, it ain't going to happen by accident and by chance. You get my point? So, where we at now? In this condition, excuse me, where we at? So, but okay, in this condition, it does not matter. Watch this. How many of your desires that are fulfilled? Why? Remember, Those desires will never be satisfied. So no matter how many you fulfill, you're still never going to reach there. Happiness, contentment within yourself. Why? Because everything you want is outside of yourself. That's why. And when you don't have control of this thing, the most highly technical advanced machinery known to man, oh, it'll do its own thing. Don't worry. In the mind, that's what we're talking about. The mind will always be distracted, agitated. Oh, excuse me, sorry about that. We just did that. So now, if the mind were under control, right thinkers, meaning if you were to remain fully aware, aka conscious of every feeling, that means controlling one's emotion, no matter what. If you're in control of every feeling, every thought, and emotion in your mind at what? Any given time. Not to use it don't mean you're no good. You should use it whenever you need to, whenever you have to, and be ready to use it at any given time. Like self-defense. You don't practice it, you don't learn it not to use it when you need it. It's good not to have to, but if you need to, you should be able to. That's the same thing with controlling this thing up here. It would be impossible. What's this? Just like it never going to happen if you do that. If you do this, it would be impossible for you to be swayed, okay, or deluded by what your own thoughts into a state of relative unconsciousness or ignorance or unawareness, again, unconscious. Therefore, it is said that those who do not have their minds under control are what? Are not fully awake and conscious human beings. In other words, you're ignorant. And they say 85% of society is that way. That's not a good number. So I'm here every day to try to help you take that number down a notch so we can have a fighting chance to change this thing around for us. The betterment. Moving on. Meditation is important. And meditation and right thinking philosophy are what? Disciplines. Again, it's not a way, it's a discipline way of life. You can practice it when daily, which are directed toward what? You ready? Increasing self-awareness. Awareness or what? Consciousness can only be increased. How? When the mind is in a state of what? You ready? Peace and harmony. Agitation and emotional distraction, you'll never reach that level with that going on in your mind. You're in control of that. Let go and let God. I hear y'all say a bunch of phrases, and ain't the phrases is fine. You just ain't doing it. Sorry, moving on. But you need to have peace and harmony in order for your mind to expand. Thus, spiritual disciplines, the right thinking philosophy, and meditation, which are what? Important part of your yoga and your primary means, you ready? Of controlling one's mind and allowing you, the individual, to mature psychologically and spiritually. Religion don't do that for you. Right thinking philosophy will. That's the difference. A philosophy you can live by will get you to where you want to go. Following a belief system get you there. It's a little rough road, but I ain't said don't. I said just a little rougher. It's good to have the truth to work with, rather than trying to work through a belief system. That's all I'm saying. Moving on. I don't indulge in belief. So again, psychologically, and it's all up here. God is mental, psychological growth. What's that? That is promoted. Why? Because when the mind is brought under control, you need to have self-control. You need to master your ego self. That's the only way you can have self-control. Because if you're not in control of the ego, you're not in control of self. simple. And the intellect. God don't need dumb followers. He wants intelligent followers who can what? Do, be, and act and recognize him for that. Not just beg and plead and hope he do something for them. Do something for yourself. He'll work with you. The intellect becomes what? Clear. I can think clear now. I can think good. And psychological issues, complexes such as, you ready? Anxieties and other delusions of grandeur of the ego, which have an effect even in ordinary people, can be cleared up. It can be solved. Why? Control of the mind and the promotion of internal, there you go, internal harmony will allow you, the meditator, if you're not practicing meditation daily, you're not going to get the best out of that thing you got called a mind. So it allows you, the meditator, to what? To integrate your personality and to what? Resolve some of your hidden issues created of the present time or either from childhood or past traumas in prior lives. Remember, your spirit carries memory from prior lives. So that's what they're telling you. Okay? I wasn't going to read this next section, but I think it's important, so here we go. When the mind has been brought under control, self-mastery, the expansion of your consciousness leads to what? Self-discovery, that one's own individual consciousness now is not the total experience of consciousness. Why? You have three phases, but once you become conscious of that, what happens? Through the correct practice of daily meditation, right then philosophy, you, the individual's consciousness, awareness start to what? Expand to what? The point wherein there is a self-discovery that now you are more than just an individual. The ego is starting to go down. Why? You know you're more than just an individual, just you. That's the ego self. Now, the state of automatic consciousness, which is what the ego lives in, becomes reduced in favor of what? The experiences of what? Increasing levels of what? Continuous awareness. Mean I'm focused. I'm on point. I'm holding together. I'm not drifting. I'm not drifting off. No, I'm focused. I'm aware. I'm mindful. You'll see where it's going to take you to. Watch. So in other words, there is now a decrease in what? Daydreaming or brain freezes, befuddlement. Those become out the way now, as well as what? The episodes of what? Carrying out said activities and forgetting oneself and them until they are finished. Engulf yourself what you're doing and forget everything else. That's going to change too, okay? Driving, for example, also there is a reduced, here you go, level of what? Lost awareness. Again, brain freezing, drifting. I hate when I lose focus. I hate to forget. Those things irritate me, but I deal with them with that myself. So it's all about the self, your individual preference. So when you kind of left, you reach a level that reduces your loss of awareness of what? Self doing what? Daydreaming, sleep, and dreamless sleep states. I told you, if you become conscious, that means you're lucid dreaming. You're conscious in the astral world. That's where you need to be, okay? Normally, most people who are at the lower levels of consciousness and awareness, what happens? They become caught in this swoon, okay? In the fainting effect, which occurs when at the time when one starts to fall asleep, that spot, when you realize you're going down, you fight, but eventually you just say, what the hell, and you give in. That's what they're talking about. So when you go to sleep, you just done, okay? Why? You're giving up your waking state, go to the dream state and you're not familiar with it, so you lose it. All right, you're there. Watch this. When one falls asleep or when there is no awareness of dreams. A lot of people think, what you do? I don't know. See? Some people like, man, I had a dream. Yeah, see? Sometimes you, by accident, you can lucid dream. That's when you remember. Or they tell you, they're sending you a message in your dream. Yeah, okay. Wow, what's this? So now you're not aware of your dreams while in the deep sleep state. But the dreamless sleep, this swooning effect causes an ordinary, what's this, a person of less consciousness, ain't too smart, of their own waking state. I mean, you barely hanging in the waking state. So when you go to sleep, it's a wrap. But that means your intelligence, your intellect ain't too high. So when the waking state, your identity and what happened? You assume the identity of what? That dream subject. Now, in the dream state, you think the dream is real. While you're in it. That's the caveat. Watch this. And thus, to feel that the dream subject, as well as what the dream world, are your realities, but they're inside yourself. That's what we say about God. We're all part of his dream. We just having individual ways around, part of that concept. And in your dream, whoever you bring into it, that's your choice. Get the concept? All right, I'm about to wrap it up. No, I'm not. I got a little more stuff here. It might take a minute, but I'm trying to get through it. Now, let's go to the next one. Shifting identification. That's what you be doing. This shift in identification from the what? The waking personality where, yeah, I'm cool, I got this, to now the dreaming personality, to where the absence of either personality. That's the deep dreamless state that led ancient philosophy. Watch this. Our ancient philosophers to what? To discover that these states are not absolute realities either. Philosophically. Why? Because it says anything that is not continuous and abiding cannot be considered as real. Okay? Only what exists and does not change in all periods of time can be considered as real. Nothing, hear me, nothing in this physical world of human experience qualifies as real, according to that test, that philosophy. Nature, the human body, why? Everything has a beginning, and if you have a beginning, you have an end. If you're born, you're going to die. Therefore, they are not absolutely real. They appear to be real because of, again, the limited mind and the five senses, along with what? Their belief in the mind that they are what? Real. So, in other words, people believe that matter is physical objects are real, even though modern physics have proven that all matter is not physical or stable. It changes constantly and its constituents, when the parts are in reality composed of what they consider empty spaces. But think about it. When you fall asleep, I know when I'm going to sleep. So my conscious mind is comfortable when I go into the dream state. Why? I'm lucid. I'm comfortable in that area. Astral plane is what I do. So when you fall asleep, what happens? You believe, that's the ego self, that the dream world is real. Why? The ego's having balls. It's running wild. Believing it's real. It don't know the dream from real. It's going to do the same thing in reality if you let it. Get the concept? But upon waking up, the ego don't stop. You believe it was not real. Oh, that was just a dream. Is the waking state the dream? Are you dreaming now? Or when you go to sleep, that's the real deal. You got to figure that out. And at the same time, when you fall asleep, what happens? You forget the waking world. You in a whole other state of mind. Believing it's real. See where we're going with this? And this is all done in the mind. That mind's a bad mamma jana, Joe. Watch this. Now, your reality, your relatives, and life history is all stored in your memory. Okay, that's all you got. That's all you got. You can go forward and imagine, but the memory pretty much controls this area when you go to sleep. Why? That's all you got to work with. So, and assume, they say, but imagine you got it. What's that? I told you, my man. Visualization. Yeah. See yourself with it. Why? Trick your brain into thinking you already got it. All that nonsense. Again, mind games. So, again, and you assume any entirely new history within your relative, your life situations, and even world systems. Why? This is your own mind doing its own thing. Therefore, philosophically, the ordinary states of mind, of consciousness, which a human being experiences are what? Limited and illusory. Again, understand that. The waking dream and dreamless sleep states are what? Only transient expresses, so they're not real either, of a deeper underlying consciousness. This is getting heavy. But this underlying consciousness, the next level, which witnesses, we call it Amun, the witness consciousness, okay? And the other three states, which Carl Jung, the guy psychiatrist, he referred to it as what? Collective unconsciousness. Really? Okay, that's the modern side. And in Indian philosophy, this is called the fourth state of consciousness, awareness, and it is known as Turiya. It is also referred to, watch this, as you ready? I call it God consciousness or cosmic consciousness, either or, but you are aware and you become a one with your higher self, whatever way you want to slice, how you want to call it, it's the same action. And the theory of meditation, here we're going to wrap it up. Coming home down the home stretch, hold on, I'm almost there. The theory of meditation and the goal is that when the mind and senses are controlled, become one, heart-mind coherence, transcendent, now the awareness of the transcendental God state of consciousness becomes evident. How? From here, consciousness awareness now expands, allowing you, the meditator, to what? Discover the latent abilities of what? The unconscious mind. That's God. That's God. When this occurs, you ready? You ready? An immense feeling of joy emerges from within. That's a drop the pen, drop the mic moment, but I got a little more. We're almost there. But that's my point. When you reach that, that's what happens. And watch this, what happens. Now, your desires for happiness and fulfillment through external objects and people and situation dwindles. And what? A peaceful, transcendental state of mind develops. I don't care about a whole bunch of stuff. Why? Also, now, the inner resources are now discovered, which will allow you, the right thinker, to now meet the challenges of your personal life, matter the disappointments, even disease, and right on into death, etc. Why? Because now you know how to maintain your poised state of mind, aka maintain your cool, even in the face of death. Moving on, I'm wrapping it up. I'm almost there. So now when you reach the heights of meditative experience for yourself, you are reached. They are reached. There is a more continuous form of what? Awareness. You just on top of your game, so to speak, which develops on a daily basis. It is not lost when at the time of falling asleep. I just told you when I go to sleep, I know what I'm doing. At this stage, there is a discovery, which what? That just as the dream state is discovered to be what? Unreal upon waking up in the morning, the waking state is also now discovered to be what? Kind of a dream. Again, I just try to explain that to you. Is transcendent what? At all times of falling asleep, lucid dreaming. There is a form of what? Continuous awareness. This is good. Which develops where? In the mind, which spans all three states of consciousness and what? Becomes a witness. One to them instead of what? A subject bound by them. Almost done. Here I come, coming down the stretch. I'm bringing it home. Further, there is a discovery that there is a boundless source a source from which one has originated, God, and to which one is exorbitably linked. You need to know that consciously. We got it here. We need to have it here. They become one. And this discovery brings what? Brings immense peace and joy, we call bliss or hotep, wherein now all worldly desires vanish in the mind, and there is what? Absolute contentment. Hotep, again, I can tell you where? In the heart and mind, they become one. And this level of experience can only be accomplished by every individual on their own merit, and is what the Buddhists call mindfulness. Okay. However, again, the history of mindfulness meditation goes back to the time of ancient India and ancient Egypt. Ding, ding, ding. Now, in Egypt, the highest level of consciousness, wherein here you go, automatic consciousness is eradicated. They don't go into sleep mode. They don't go into automatic mode. They stay focused and aware. And there is, eradicated, and there is continuous awareness, focus, aka mindfulness, and they called it Sakshin Buddha. From Vedanta and yoga philosophy, the teachings of the witnessing consciousness we call our own, I just told you that, found even greater expressions, and when practiced in Buddhist philosophy and the Buddhist meditation, Buddha or higher intellect is the source of the word Buddha, and it means one who has attained wakefulness at the level of the highest intellect, aka we call it Neha. So that's the lesson. I hope you enjoyed it. That's the goal of meditation, and that's the goal of right thinking philosophy also. So we're on the same page. I hope you enjoyed the lesson. And in closing, right thinkers, may y'all live to be 100 and be 100 miles a day. So I never knew the right thing for you and passed away. Love you, man.